Richard Windsor. He's a global technology marketing analyst at Nomura and joins us now live.
Hello, good morning.
Richard, great to see you. Some murmurs over the past few weeks that this is a sort of tech bubble, which, if it's not going to burst, it's going to get a lot smaller bubbles. No sign of that at the moment, though.
No, not really. I mean, the way we would look at it is that it's not really a bubble because you haven't seen, it's not like an incredibly rapid ramp up. What you've seen is, for certain stocks that are doing right now, it's been consistent beating of earnings quarter after quarter after quarter, and the stock price has been matching that. And if you look at, if you look at Apple's valuation and, take out the cash, which is now an incredibly large number, you actually end up with a valuation for the stock which is not at crazy levels.
How is Apple managing to lead the race in this quarter after quarter after quarter? And can it continue on that trajectory?
Well, it's actually fairly simple. What they've managed to do is that they've come up with devices that users actually like to use. They've come up with devices that are easy to use, easy to find and get access to applications, and because of that, everybody is writing applications for their devices, which is making them very sticky, which means that they are continuing to gain market share quarter after quarter. Now, what's also happening is they're starting to get quite big now, and what that is also allowing them to do is allow them to use leverage, allowing them to use scale to actually be very competitive when it comes down to cost compared to what the competitors can offer.
Now, what are the competition, notably in the tablet market? Growth expected to continue strongly through 2012. By how much will Apple's dominance be challenged, and by whom? Is it Samsung?
Yeah, in the tablet market, and we did a big report on this just last week. Next year, we expect to see the non-Apple tablet market start to emerge, and the reason for that is twofold. Firstly, because we think they're going to be a little bit more reasonable on price, because quite frankly, a non-Apple tablet has to come at a discount or a higher specification than an Apple tablet. But also, the Android operating system that they're using on a lot of these tablets is going to be vastly improved. Plus, we should also see Windows 8 available, which has also been specifically designed for tablets. So the whole user experience on the non-Apple tablets should improve markedly next year.
And what about the likes of Research in Motion, Motorola, and crucially Nokia, that we're getting results later on this week?
Well, we're actually very cautious on all three of those, actually. Nokia, which reports tomorrow, we are deeply concerned that while the Q2 numbers may beat lower or come in line with lowered expectations, that margin expectations for Q3 are possibly too high, and in fact we may see much deeper margin erosion simply because Nokia is under attack and it has very little defense at the moment other than price.
There is a lot of litigation in this market. How should we judge that ruling about HTC, that it infringed Apple's patents? Is this just normal part of the rough and tumble, or is this one more significant?
That one is a little bit more significant because the part of the problem is when you infringe a patent and you are deemed to infringe a patent by the ITC, then quite possibly what can happen is they can put an embargo on your products, i.e. you have to stop selling them into the United States. What usually happens, though, then is that the products, the embargo is stayed pending appeal. HTC said it will appeal. HTC is buying a company which has also got patents which Apple has been deemed to infringe by the ITC. So it's just another stage in what's going to be a tit-for-tat war, I suspect, that's going to last quite a long time.
And as for the smartphone market, are those manufacturers the ones to really gain traction as we look ahead over the next 12, 24 months, or is it really not as simple as that?
Actually, the ones we think that are gaining traction, it's the Asian Android camp, to be honest. These are the ones that are making the best hardware. They're doing some of the best implementations of the Android operating system and coming up with devices that users actually want to use at reasonable prices. So it's HTC, it's Huawei, it's ZTE, it's TCL.
And we've got Microsoft tomorrow. We had Yahoo disappointing. Are there real patterns emerging, or can we not make it that simple?
I think it's a little bit too early to say at the moment, but one thing that I think is quite clear is that Apple is probably going to be the only consumer electronics stock that's going to do particularly well this quarter because consumer demand overall remains very poor. We're also rather worried about semiconductor inventories across the globe, and we are quite worried that this is going to cause a lot of the companies to guide down or guide lower than expectations for Q3.
Richard Windsor, I'm grateful to you. Thanks very much indeed for
Thanks so
joining
much.
us from the trading floor at Nomura.